Let's move on to the last story I have for the day. And that is, while on Mac Mania, Wheeler Yuta commented on if he thought AEW was at war with WWE. I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, absolutely not, Yuta said emphatically. We're not trying to take everyone out. We don't have a big war. We're trying to put on the best AEW show possible. And I think that in doing so, we've created an alternative. We've created something different, a whole different vibe, a whole different feel to our show. The more places there are for people to wrestle, the better it is for wrestling, because even if we're not trying, to take them out in a way, we are trying to, like you said, put on our best show. Question: do you as a wrestling fan actually see AEW as direct competition to WWE? I know that varies. I know certain people do. Certain people will tell you AEW is better than WWE. I tend to fall on the idea of very similar to Wheeler Yuta. It's different. It is a different product. I don't see them as competition. I see them both as needed in the business. I see one as what professional wrestling has always been, a spectacle, and I see the other as more of the sport of professional wrestling. And I think when viewed that way, both companies can flourish. But can we talk about Wheeler Yuta for a minute? Because while we're just throwing around executive vice president titles in AEW, it feels like, hey, you get to be a president, and you get to be a president, and you get to be a president. Why don't we strap one on this smart motherfucker? Like, that was the most well put together statement that I've seen come out of AEW, and it comes from a guy in Wheeler Yuta who I've admittingly not paid attention to. And maybe Wheeler Yuta is the only person in AEW who has taken a public speaking course, because that was the most eloquent way to explain the difference in WWE and AEW that's come out of AEW. This is the attitude that every person in AEW should have, including Tony Khan. Like, if they all would just double down on this Wheeler Yuta attitude, I could buy in. I could 100% view it as a viable alternative to WWE. It is the problem is that they continue to push it as we are competition to WWE. Different product for different fans. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Wheeler Yuta says the more places for guys to wrestle, the better. I agree 100% with that. I like the idea. I even go as far as guys like Mustafa Ali. WWE, if he's a better fit in AEW, let him go to AEW. Guys like Malachi Black, if he's a better fit back in WWE, let him go back to WWE. Let these guys find the home that they're most comfortable in, and we will get a balance, and we will get two balanced, genuine, fun products to watch that are similar but different. Wheeler Yuta just jumped way up on my list of guys that I want to pay attention to. I'm watching AEW for MJF, Jericho, and now Wheeler Yuta is on that list of a guy I want to pay attention to, just because of his intelligence level, just because of his ability to speak and convey a message that clicks with me. As a casual fan, I get it. And I can watch you knowing that you understand what you're doing, and you understand the product you're trying to sell to me. Just in a little bit of update to this, I saw before I came on air, Tony Khan tweeted out again that this week's Dynamite is going to be newsworthy. Why can't Tony Khan just let the show speak for itself? Why every week? It's a little bit of a fucking circus. It's comical. Why every week does Tony Khan have to take to Twitter and go, this is the one. This is the one you guys are going to be excited about? Because I pulled up a preview of what's to come tonight, and it's Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara, 2 out of 3 falls. That's great, but that's going to be for the wrestling fans. For the flippy flip wrestling, X's and O's, that's who that's for. That's not going to reach the casual audience. Eddie Kingston versus Ethan Page in a world title eliminator tournament, whatever. I don't know that casual fans are jumping to that. So it's Tony's just playing to his audience. Sure, this is great. The Acclaimed and FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory and the Guns. The Guns not our Gun Club anymore. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun match. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue, that's not moving the needle. Britt Breaker and Saraya face off. I will be paying attention to that. That I am very interested in. An MJF promo and a Jon Moxley promo. This just sounds like another day of Dynamite to me. This doesn't sound like anything that's going to, just move the needle in a ridiculous way. So, if we could just, if everybody in AEW could take a note from Wheeler Yuta and just tone it down and let it be what it is, I think that product would thrive, and it would gain a lot more fandom from a casual fan base.